It's emerging. It's only very nascent for now. It is still nascent. But what has happened through the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative has been that you at least have a global mechanism that brings government, private sector, and civil society around the table on the basis of multi-sectoral partnership, multi-stakeholders partnership, sorry. And therefore, through this multi-stakeholders partnership, issues that affect the sector are surfaced, and discussions as to how you can use more transparent information about the challenges and the opportunities of the sector to galvanize and mobilize everybody toward the action that would enable the natural resources sector deliver for the poor. I think that the urgency that I see is in how we can get effective management of the sector in order that the mining sector, the petroleum sector can actually have development impact, that it can reduce poverty, that it should not only be a source of growth and profit making, but that in the way that you align policies, institutions, and public investment, of the revenues from that sector, that all of it will go toward greater growth, discovering new sources of growth through diversification, and ultimately reducing poverty. What the emerging economies represent for Africa is really one great opportunity, and it's got to really structure its own rules of engagement. This is yet another opportunity. We're talking of several trillions of new opportunities through the global significance and importance of these emerging economies. But Africa cannot afford to just walk into it in a very perfunctory manner. It needs to strategically think through the experiences it wants to benefit in this relationship, the levels of trade and possibilities, and the diversified structure that it would like to see, so that it's not, it doesn't stay in the traditional kind of trade arrangements. Yes. It needs to look at the opportunities in terms of foreign direct investment, investment that actually stays and creates real jobs and creates opportunities for growth of the local economy. It needs to look in terms of the partnership that these new entrants can create in the transfer of technology, and how Africa can also use that platform to boost its own transfer of its own knowledge. For example, Africa is shown that in the area of mobile banking services, that it has gone ahead of a number of the rest of the continents. So Africa has something to showcase. South Africa is going full force into renewable green economy options, land, solar solutions. It's looking at wind solutions. If it builds its track record there, it would be an incredible innovation center. Now, these are real opportunities, and I think that it is for Africa to roundly determine that it will take advantage of larger markets that are possible. What that also means is that Africa would need to forge its own continent into a larger market, a market that is attractive, a market that can hold its own in the global economy. Our new strategy has two pillars, and the first pillar is competitiveness and employment. And so the second pillar is vulnerability and resilience. And the idea of the competitiveness and employment is a recognition that Africa, that has begun to grow on a steady path in the last decade, now needs to do more than just grow. It needs to be growth that brings along plenty of jobs. And so the way that can happen is to have many more sectors that are productive on the continent, not just certain sectors, but many diversified. So it means that structural diversification is a key part of our dialogue with governments, and then focusing on the necessary skills that will be needed to drive these new sources of growth, focusing on the infrastructure solutions that you need, the systems, infrastructure systems that will drive the process of these new sources of growth, new sectors that private sector would like to take advantage of. And then looking at important sectors like agriculture and agribusiness, and seeing that there are many stranded productivity possibilities in them, and seeing how you can use the match of policy, institutions, public investment to drive the emergence of these new sectors, whether in agriculture, tourism, in financial services, deepening the impact and the revolution we've so far seen in information and communication technology, looking at the opportunities that are available in services in general, whether, and then looking at housing, just looking at even infrastructure development as a sector of and potential for growth on the continent.